They call me Sonic for a reason, don't they? Hi, it's Bianca, and in today's video, I'll be making a Sonic the Hedgehog costume, or I'll be remaking my Sonic costume that I made back in 2018, so it's going to be like a revamp and a glow up. This video was originally going to be uploaded on Sonic's birthday. I'm remaking my Sonic costume because it was his birthday, and also the Sonic the Hedgehog 3 movie is going to come out this year. So I want to do a little tribute. If you guys want to see how I made my Sonic costume, then keep on watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Subscribe, turn on the notifications. It will make my heart happy. And let's get started. To make the dress, I have this blue fabric that I found in the dark recesses of my mind. I'm just kidding. And the pattern that I'll be using is McCall's M6893. It's a dress pattern, and I used this pattern before. And I made the red sparkly dress, and I'm going to be making the dress with this sweetheart bodice. And I already have the bodice pieces cut out, and I'll be using pieces 9 and 10 on the blue fabric. And I'll be saving piece 8 for later. With the fabric laid down and folded, I folded the fabric a little more, and I pinned 9 and 10 on both folded layers. The reason why I'm doing this is that I'll be cutting 4 each, 2 for the outside and 2 for the lining. Then I cut the bodice pieces on 4 layers, and I also clipped my notches too. I have this tan fleece that I also found in the dark recesses of my mind, and that is going to be Sonic's belly. I folded the fleece in half, placed piece 8 on the fold, pinned. Instead of cutting it in 2 pieces, it's going to be 1 piece on the fold, so it's 1 piece. And then I cut straight across on the top instead of cutting a sweetheart shape. And I marked it with a pencil so I know what it's going to look like. And I cut. And I also clipped the notches too. And I have all of my bodice pieces cut out. Now it's time for me to cut out the skirt. So I'm envisioning a very gathered skirt. So I use my measuring tape to measure how long I want my dress to be. I don't want it too short, and I also don't want it too long. So I marked it with a pen, and I'm going to have my skirt to be 20 inches long. And then with my measuring tape, I measured how wide I want the skirt to be, and I wanted 2 large rectangles. And I cut them out. Now it's time to work on the bodice. Starting with the bodice side front, right sides together, I pin the top. Then I stitched the top using a straight stitch. I did this on both of them. I then turned it inside out and gave it a good press with my iron. After that, I understitched the linings on each bodice side fronts. With my tan bodice front laying down, I laid one of my blue bodice side front right sides together, matching the notches, pinned, repeating the same thing with my other blue bodice side front. And then I sewed them together using a straight stitch. I also serged 2. And this is what they look like so far, all stitched together. Now with my bodice back, right sides together, I pinned the tops. And sewed using a straight stitch. And just like the bodice side front, I also pressed and understitched. pinned both bodice backs to the bodice side fronts, right sides together. And sew them together using a straight stitch. I also serged too. And my bodice is complete. Now it's time to work on the skirt. So obviously my dress is gonna have a gathered skirt. I laid my long piece of fabric down flat, placed my second long piece of fabric on top, right sides together, pinned one side, and stitched and serged. After that, I set my machine to the longest stitch length and highest tension and gathered the long piece of fabric. With my skirt gathered, I adjusted the gathers to make it the same length as the bodice so it fits. Once I got everything even and the same length, I pinned the skirt to the bodice and I sewed and serged. After that, I serged the sides of the dress. Now, it's time to install a zipper. I have this blue zipper and I cut it and sewed a stopper using a zigzag stitch. I pinned my zipper to the serge edge side of my dress and stitched it using a zipper foot. Then I closed the bottom seam by stitching with a straight stitch. Finally, I hemmed the bottom and my dress is done! To make the choker, I measured my neck, which is 17 inches, cut out a strip of the blue fabric with the same length. I folded it in half, right sides together, pinned the upper edge, and stitched. I used a safety pin and turned it inside out. I pressed the choker so it's nice and flat. I folded the edges in on the sides and sewed it closed. To wear the choker, I have Velcro and I stick them to the ends of the choker. And I have a choker. First, I have this plain white headband that I got from a craft store. I cut out a strip of the leftover blue fabric and hot glued it, covering the length of the headband. I trimmed the excess on the sides, leaving a little bit, folded each side on the inside of the headband, and hemmed it. For the ears, I made a pattern out of paper. I'm using craft foam and I have this big sheet of blue craft foam. I folded one end of the sheet a little bit, folded the fold down, placed the pattern at the fold, and I cut. I made two. Next, I have a sheet of tan foam, and I cut out 2 triangles for the inner ears. I glued the inner ears on the front of each ear. It's going to be smaller than the blue, so the blue is going to be peeking out a little. With the inner ear glued on each ear, I folded the ear in half, hot gluing the sides together but leaving a gap on the bottom. Next, I hot glued each ear on the headband, and this was somewhat challenging. The foam was flexible and somewhat stiff, and I tried to make it fit on the headband, so I kept adding glue and pressing the ear down. And I was like, oh, please stay. After many years of gluing and pressing the ear down, the headband was finally done, and I'm very happy how it turned out. And good news, the ears stayed in place. Now that my costume is finished, you guys are thinking, how did it turn out, Bianca? Alright, time for a cute little montage.
With this world, gotta make your own way. What is all with this world? Life is just a game of play. Never fear the fall. When you leave without a net, you'll find there won't be there all the time. So watch your step, now watch your step, don't fall.
And that's it, my costume's all finished. I'm very happy how it turned out. This is going to be my Halloween costume for this year, but I made it a few months early, and everyone's going to be like, Bianca, it's June. Why did you make your costume early? And I was like, I'm an early planner. I like to plan ahead. So I'm going to save this for October. And this costume was really affordable. It cost me under like $10 or $20, and the blue fabric I already had in my fabric stash at home, and I already had the tan fleece fabric in my fabric stash too, so the dress cost me $0. How great is that? And then I did buy foam, and I already had the headband, but I did buy foam for the ears, and that was about a couple of dollars, but not too much. And I bought the wig and the gloves for $14.99. I'm just very happy how my costume turned out, and this is definitely a glow up. I can't believe it's been that long since I made that crappy costume in 2018. I think that's about, oh my gosh, it was in the late 2010s, and now I'm in the 2020s. And then when I was gluing the ears on the headband, after I successfully glued them on without them falling off, when I tried them on, they looked a little bit too close on my head, and I was like, oh shoot. But I forgot about it, and I was like, okay, this looks good regardless. I'm very excited for this to be my Halloween costume later this year. Maybe in the future I'll make a Shadow the Hedgehog costume. And I am a huge Sonic fan. I have a crush on Sonic, and one day I hope to find my Sonic and I can be his Amy. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe. It will make my heart happy. I hope you all have a fantastic day, and I'll see you later.